Hello student, this is Palla Darbari, your host, and you're watching Palla Darbari classes. In this video, we will discuss Chapter 5 of Business Studies Class 12th, that is Organizing. Let us see the topic that we will discuss in detail. The first topic is formal organization. Second, informal organization. Third, decentralization. And fourth, delegation. Let us start with the formal organization structure. Formal organization structure is a well-defined structure of authority and hierarchy that clearly specify the boundaries of authority and responsibility in an organization. So what is formal organization structure? It is the structure which define the authority and the responsibility within the organization. Formal organization structure clearly state the rules and procedures to be followed by the employees. A formal organization structure is deliberately created by the managers of an organization to ensure its smooth and systematic functioning. Most of the time, the examiner asks, is the formal organization a deliberately created organization or accidental? So we have to write down it is the organization which is deliberately created by the managers to ensure its smooth and systematic functioning. Let us discuss the features of formal organization. The first feature of formal organization is systematic authority. Under the formal organization, the power and the authority is systematically allotted, assigned. Everybody knows the power and everybody knows their obligations. Next is achievements of organizational objectives. Under the formal organization, the authority and the responsibility is clearly mentioned, because of which it becomes very easy for the attainment of organizational objectives. Because under the formal organization, the duties, responsibilities, powers, and feedback is keep on taking, because of which the organization objectives get freely attained. Next is deliberate action. This organization is deliberately created, keeping the attainment of the organizational goal in the mind. Next is coordination. In the formal organization, every department is interconnected so that the organization objectives should be attained at ease. So coordination is clearly established or is always being found. Next is emphasis on work. Under the formal organization, every effort is being made to emphasize or put the employees in action. In the organization, the employees are supposed to perform the actions, supposed to perform the assigned work which is being assigned to them. Now let us discuss the features of organization in detail. The first feature is specification of authority. In a formal organization, the boundaries of authorities and responsibilities are clearly defined. That is, it is clearly specified who is to report to whom. Next is achievement of organizational objectives. By clearly stating the procedures and the rules to be followed, a formal organization enables the achievement of organizational objectives in a far better manner. Next is deliberate creation. This particular feature is very important. A formal organization is deliberately created by the manager in order to achieve the systematic and efficient functioning of the organization. Next is coordination. A formal organization facilitates the coordination of the efforts of various departments and individuals in the pursuit of the common goal of the organization. Next is emphasis on work. A formal organizational structure or system lays more emphasis on the work to be done rather than on interpersonal relationship. Let us discuss the advantages of formal organization. The first advantage is reduce confusion. In the formal organization, the duties, the responsibilities is clearly mentioned. The objectives of the organization is also intimated to every employee. So the chances of confusion is bare minimum because everybody knows to whom they are supposed to give the feedback and from whom they have to take the orders and what they are supposed to do. Next is higher stability. In the formal organization, the rules and regulations are clearly mentioned. The time period to complete the work is also mentioned. So the stability is there. Next is reduced duplication of work. In the case of formal organization, the work is being allotted to every individuals and every person and everybody knows their work and every person is performing the work assigned to them. So the chances of the duplication is minimum. Next advantage is better coordination. In the formal organization, every department is interconnected with other department. Every work is interconnected with another work. So the better coordination is being noticed, is being found in formal organization. Next is accomplishment of organizational objectives, division of the work, interconnecting the department. All this thing is being done so that the organizational objectives can be attained at ease. So in the formal organization, organization objective is attained with the minimum efforts, effectively and efficiently. Why? Because confusion has reduced, duplication of work has minimized, stability is maximum, coordination is maximum. All these things helps in the attainment of organization objectives. Let us discuss the advantages of a formal organization in detail. The first is reduced confusion. A formal organization clearly defines the working relationship and the hierarchy. That is, it clearly specifies who should report to whom. In this way, it facilitates unity of command. Unity of command means at a time one employee is answerable to another. It means at a time one employee is answerable to one boss, thereby reducing confusion in the working operation. So reduce confusion because in the formal organization, unity of command is restored, because of which confusion has reduced. Next is higher stability. By defining the procedures and the rules clearly, the formal organization makes the behavior of the employees in a more predictable manner. It brings stability to the organization. When I say stability, it means the percentage of earning profit is stabilizes. The work also get stabilizes. Next is reduce duplication of the work. Since the responsibilities are clearly defined, there is no room of ambiguity in the role of various employees. There is no room of doubt what I have to do, what the other employee has to do. This helps in avoiding duplication of work and efforts. Next advantage is better coordination. A systematic division of activities in various departments results in better coordination in the organization. Next is accomplishment of organizational objectives. A formal organizational structure lays more stress on work, thereby assisting in achieving organizational objectives in a better manner. Let us discuss the disadvantages of a formal organization. The first disadvantage is delay in decision making. In the formal organization, official line of communication has to be followed. Many legal formalities and many official formalities has to be followed, because of which the decision get delayed. Next is limited creativity. In the formal organization, every person is supposed to do the work as assigned to them. They are not supposed to give suggestions. They are not supposed to do the work out of their own creativity. All these things kills the creativity of the employees, or the employees stop giving ideas to the organization. The next drawback is portrays an incomplete picture. The formal organization will not give the true picture of the organization. It will not tell the true picture of the uh, conditions of the employees in the organization. Let us discuss all the advantages of a formal organization in detail. First is delay in decision making. Each member in a formal organization has to follow the established chain of working relationship, for which each and every task sometime the result get delayed in decision making. For example, suppose A has to give the order to B and the information should be communicated to Z. The employee will follow the chain. A will give the order to B, B will give the order to C, and C will give the order to D, and so on. And finally, the information will reach to Z. Because of which, what happens? The decisions get delayed. Because if directly somehow the information will be delivered or tipped off to Z, then the decision can be executed in less time. But here's the formal line of communication is being followed, so the information get delayed. The decision get delayed. Next is limited creativity. A formal organization structure restricts creativity as it does not allow for new practices and ways of doing the task. The tasks have to be performed as per the predetermined procedures and rules. Next is portrays an incomplete picture. As a formal organization lays emphasis on working relationship, it fails to bring out the interpersonal relationship existing in the organization. Therefore, we never know the situations or the working relationship or the relationship within the organization. Now, let us discuss the informal structure. An informal structure is a network of social relationship that arises out of personal interaction among the employees of an organization beyond their official defined role. In this regard, it can be said that an informal structure originates within a formal organization. So, what is informal organization? It is that type of the organization which originate from the within the formal organization, where personal interaction among the employees is going on. So, informal organization is a network of social relationship that arises out of personal interaction among the employees. So, what is informal organization? Network of social relationship that arises out of personal interaction among the employees, and it originates within a formal organization. Let us discuss the features. First is it originates from a formal organization. Listen, in the formal organizations, employees meet with each other, meet with the other employees, and the friendships or the when one employee interact or one employee is come in contact with the other employees, the informal organization originates. So it originates from a formal organization because formal organization provides a platform where the person from different backgrounds come closer to each other and they start sharing their emotions with each other. Next is molds behavior. Informal organization uh, molds the behavior of the employees by satisfying them, by fulfilling their emotional needs. Next is it facilitates independent communication channels. Because of informal communication, the information get quickly reach to the final destinations, because in the informal communication, informal organization, the formal line of communication is not followed. Next is forms spontaneously. Formal organization is being created, is being formed out of the personal desires. It is not being formed out of the registration or out of the official requirements of the organization. So it can be created when the employees get a whim to create it. Next is remains complex. It is very difficult to find out who is the person leading the organization, because there is no specific person who leads the informal organization. It is very difficult to find out from which direction the information is coming, because information is coming from every direction. Now let us discuss the features of an informal organization in detail. The first feature is originates from a formal organization. An informal organization arises from within a formal organization through personal interaction among the employees beyond their official defined roles. Next is molds behavior. The behavior of the employees in an informal organization is molded by the norms of the group. It means that the behavior is according to the norms of the group. Next is facilitates independent communication channel. In an informal organization, the information flows freely without following any specific path or channel. The next is forms spontaneously. An informal organization structure emerges spontaneously out of personal interactions among the employees and not and is not deliberately created either by the employees or by the managers. So it is being created spontaneously according to the whim, according to the desire, according to the need of the organization employees. Next is remains complex. An informal organization do not have a definite structure. They are quite complex. Now let us discuss the advantages of an informal organization. The first is faster flow of communication. In the case of informal communication, since we are not following any official line of communication, so the information can be reached to the final destination in toto. Fine. Next is fulfillment of social needs. When I say social needs, it means that under the informal organization, the main motive and the objective is sharing emotions and the ideas or taking help, personal help. So the social needs, it means sharing the ideas, emotions is going on. So the social need is fulfilled. Next is fulfillment of organizational objectives. Since the social need of the employees are fulfilled, so the person is totally free, the person don't have any tension, so he can do the work with all the energy and work for the attainment of organizational objectives. Now let us discuss all the advantages in detail. The first is faster flow of communication, as no definite path or the channel of communication is followed in a informal organization, so his information can reach to the final destination on time. The next is fulfillment of social need. An informal organization allows for personal communication beyond the officially defined role. This enables the employees to interact with like-minded colleagues. This unofficial interaction provides a sense of belongingness among the employees towards each other. The next is fulfillment of social objective. This is a very important advantage, and most of the time this advantage will be asked in statement forms. An informal organization supports the working of a formal organization and thereby helps in the fulfillment of the organizational objectives in a better manner. For instance, the manager can interact with the workers informally and assess their views on various. Now let us discuss the disadvantages of an informal organization. The first is spread of rumors. The rumors spread especially when we are not following the official line of communication, because whenever the information will be transferred, one person who transfer the information to another person, he presumes and give the information according to his presumption, and most of the time he interpret wrongly. So the chances of rumors are more in the case of informal organization. The next is emphasis on personal interest rather than organizational interest. In the case of informal organization, the objectives of forming the informal organization is to meet out the personal interest. It is being created so that the personal interest of the employee should be meet out. The personal objectives of the group should meet out, not for the attainment of organizational objectives. So it always emphasizes for the attainment of personal interest, not on the organizational objectives. Next is negative results. When the organizational objective and the personal interest are contradictory to each other, then the informal organization will give the negative result. Next is resistance to change. Most of the time, the informal organization resist. They don't allow the other person to introduce changes in the organization. The first disadvantage is spread of rumors. An informal organization often leads to the spread of rumors that may mislead the employees. Next is emphasis on personal interest over organizational interest. An informal organization tend to lay undue emphasis on individual interest over the organization interest. This may obstruct the achievement of organizational objectives. The next is negative results. An informal structure may lead to negative results if the norms and the interest of various departments are not in conformity with the interest of the organization. Next, resistance to change. The members of an informal organization may resist and oppose in union their policies and changes of the managers, making their implementation difficult. Very important topic. How an informal organization structure supports the formal organization. How an informal organization supports the formal organization. This is a very, very, very important question. The first is free flow of communication. In every organization, the important thing is that the information should be tipped off with a minimum time. So because of informal line of communication, the information can reach to the final destination in less time, so the execution can be done quickly. The next is coordination. In the case of informal organization, there develops a good relation among the employees or cardinal relations easily established among the employees, because of which the coordination of one department becomes easy. Next is organizational objectives. Out of the because of personal interactions or because of informal organization, it becomes easy for the managers to communicate why the organization objectives is important to every employees, because of which, and one thing more, because of informal organization, the manager can motivate the employees out of the by going out of the way of rules and regulations or out of the organizational way, which helps in the attainment of organizational objectives. The next is harmonious environment. In the informal organization, one person is free to share his emotions, ideas with other people, and the feeling of belongingness is always restored, because of which there is always a harmonious environment in the organization, and in the harmonious environment, the organizational objectives can be attained at ease. The next is efficiency and productivity. In the informal organization, the problems of the organizations or the problems of one employee will be handled easily, because of which the efficiency and productivity increases. Now let us discuss all the points in detail. The first is free flow of communication. An informal organization structure allows the employees to interact freely outside boundaries of the organization. This facilitates faster spread of information, thereby assisting the formal organization. Next is coordination. Through informal relations, peoples develop mutual trust and understanding among them. This promotes coordination. Coordination totally depends upon mutual trust and understanding, which arises because of informal. The next is organizational objectives. Along with the personal goals, informal relations helps in strategically fulfilling the organizational objectives as well. For instance, the managers can interact with the workers informally and assess their views on various matters, as well as ask for their suggestions and ideas. Next is harmonious environment. By developing healthy relationships, an informal structure builds a harmonious working environment. Next is efficiency and productivity. An informal organization structure supports the fulfillment of the social and psychological needs of the employees. This in turn helps them to improve their productivity and efficiency. Now let us discuss the difference between formal and informal organization. It's a very important one. First is formation. The formal organization is formed deliberately in a planned manner, whereas informal organization is formed spontaneously without any planning. Let us see the purpose. Working systematically for the attainment of organizational goals. So what is the purpose of the formal? Attainment of organizational goal. In the case of informal, the purpose is psychological satisfaction on the basis of behavior of members. In the case of the formal, employees is decided by the managers. The behavior of the employees is decided by the manager. And in the case of informal, there is no control of the management over the behavior of the members. Structure, there is well-defined organizational structure. In the case of informal, there is no well-defined structure. Let us see the communication. In the case of formal organization, scalar chain is followed, whereas in the case of informal organization, no fixed path of information is followed. On the basis of leadership, we can see in formal organization, the person with higher authority is considered as the leader, whereas in the case of informal organization, the person with the lowest authority also can be a leader. Let us see the stability. The formal organization structure is more stable and durable, whereas in the case of informal, the informal organization is not very stable. Interdependence. Let us see. The formal structure is an independent structure, whereas informal structure depends upon the formal organization. Let us see the next one, that is flow of authority. Authority always flow from top to bottom. Here the authority can flow in any direction. All the directions, authority can come from all the direction. Next is rules and regulations. Employees strictly follow the rules and regulations. Here the employees do not follow any rules and regulations. That's all we have in this video. Thanks for watching. God bless you all.